Hey guys, welcome back to FACEIT TV here for the FACEIT Oceania launch tournament. We do have Immunity and the Originals facing up against each other, and well, Immunity definitely the favorites here from what I can understand, definitely having also very good results, seemingly a top 2 team for sure in Australia at the moment, so everyone I imagine is hedging their bets on Immunity and that they will perform here. They're going to be facing up against the Originals on Inferno as well. So it's the classic map, a very stable map, a best of one favorite for most teams. Most teams are going to want to play an Inferno when it comes to the best of ones. Of course, you don't want your nuke, you don't want your maps which are a little bit volatile just because of the side you start on. So Inferno makes a lot of sense. Actually, in Europe, we had a trend where a lot of people were actually starting to pick Cash, but then Cash started to become a little bit more CT-sided with how the meta was going and everything, and how people were developing the strategy. And people were, or teams were generally finding it harder to play their T sides. So it started to shift into a more CT-sided map, and then Inferno is definitely coming back into prominence. Very stable map typically, although sometimes things can get really weird, and oh, SnypeR, he's so nice. I would like to be president of Australia. Can I run? Can I actually run? I would try if I could, but I would need to get a citizenship first. Someone will have to walk me through that process. But until the time that I can become the president of Australia, I will cast Australian CS games and games from the Oceanic region. And we're going to see that Immunity are going to start off on the T side. And I always find that very interesting. It's very telling of a team and their ability as a team in seeing their T side, because on a map like Inferno, because again, as I made the point in the previous match, this map tends to be kind of difficult because unlike a map like Dust 2, like, these are the ways to get like onto a site. You got to move through this choke point, this choke point. This is, these are choke points as well. Like, there's all these like nasty choke points, just like where you can funnel your opponents, and the use of grenades from CTs can effectively be much more effective because of how many choke points there are and how many positions there are to fall back to. I mean, usually you can see CTs starting off in these kinds of positions and then slowly fall back onto the site, and there's lots of room to work with on the A side of things. Even on the banana side of things as well, the CTs get a lot of options to try to make the most use of choke points by effectively taking banana with deep banana smokes. There's lots of ways to control space as the CTs, and it's really hard to find angels. You can't just rely super much on your own individual skill in finding those angels and out executing your opponents because these choke points. So it's, as a T side, to like round off my point here, you need to have rehearsal. You need to have a good plan and know all the grenades and tactics to back up your strategies. And that's why I find this interesting. We're going to see an apartments bum rush from Immunity. And let's have a look and see how well this goes for them. So far, damage being done here, but it does seem to be that Immunity are now in a 2-on-2 against the Originals. The Originals with a player on either side of things. We'll have to see if they're going to be able to stop this though. We've got Moku there as the grenade falls off the table. Going to go down, and Boomser over by Arch side, now left in a 1-on-2. He would be doing very well to get himself through onto this site here without taking much damage. He's not got any armor to play with either. Now down to 50 after that tag. Very awkward spot here for Boomser. Does take down SnypeR. We've got Rickeh there on the site, so we're going to back away towards middle. Very smart now. It's a perfect way to play this position. He's going to just smoke it and fake it as well. smoke. Not quite perfect, actually, but it is just about good enough. He's just trying to play with Rickeh, trying to get him to peek and get the shot, but he can't quite get that shot on him. Perfectly done here by Rickeh. Very well done. And I love the idea, though, because from a tactical perspective, you can use the deception and throw the smoke, and then basically fake that you're doing the smoke or doing the defuse inside the smoke, because that's what the guy is going to be afraid of, because he's going to peek around here and he's going to be like, damn, I heard the defuse and I can't see him at all. So then you definitely force him to to peek. So I trip over my words. That's a nice little tag there from Moku. Bit of a drive-by action with the scout there. Always fun to see. And that's a good name. Boomser down to 14 health. That's painful. And Rickeh, not afraid of anything. Just walking up, showing him who's boss with that P250. The respectable pistol. Real man's weapon. And then imagine just going to sit there. Just going to sit there waiting for sibe. And he will be rewarded. Pretty nice catch, actually, by JeSTeR. If they could get another frag on the board here, I think they'd be pretty pleased with themselves. But Moku is going to be saving this, I imagine, or at least try to save this one. We shall see. It doesn't actually... Yeah, okay, he does have, combined with that scout, quite a lot of, like, 2100, so... Yeah, he can actually lose this if he wants to and still make the same money back the next round. If he wants to. It's completely up to him. He's going to toss out the HE and see if he can... He actually does get some damage with it. If he wants to connect that shot there, he would have gotten the frag. But it's going to be immunity surviving with all 4 players. Only losing 1. And that's definitely a nice situation for them, as they don't have to worry too much about dropping for each other or about the economy in an immediate sense. Just have to clean up this round now. And we're going to see a few PT50s in the mix. And stack, perhaps... Okay, yeah, we're going to see a stack onto the A side. We've got only one on the B side, Raz. His job is just to show presence, to kind of put doubt in the mind of his opponents that there could be a stack. And it's all going to be down to immunity and how well they play together to find information here. Ooh, sibe almost catching. Dan's very, very off guard there, but it's going to be fine in the end. Dan's going to pull off the kill, even getting a second one as well. So all these peaks coming in, the originals, feeling forced perhaps to go on the information gathering, but are met with an untimely demise. Or perhaps not too untimely, considering what they're up against here. So 3 rounds for immunity so far, but as one would expect. The originals now, with plenty of cash left over, we're going to see the full M4 buys coming in, and a good chunk of nades for pretty much every player apart from Moku, who hopefully isn't playing B. Okay, yeah, he's not. He's playing A. It's definitely a little bit easier to play A without grenades if you have 2 mates who do have grenades. And he's going to go aggressive here, but James is ready to receive. Does take down Boomser on that aggression, and that is really painful there. That risk is going to put the originals in a very, very awkward spot now, because we've got Moku who's moved. He's forced to move into a floating role where he's close to the B site so he can react. And we've got sibe and JeSTeR on the very, very far back positions once again. You can see it couldn't be further back than that. There's nowhere to go. As soon as the T's push in, they got to stand and fight or just lose the site. And that is really the kind of problem of those positions. Also that they can be smoked off quite easily. That's also another issue of those positions. But the other issue is that no matter what, the best case here is like a 5-on-2, 4-on-2 for the CTs. And Moku going to open up with a single kill. So starting off things pretty well so far. But Rickeh going to get the wall bang there onto Moku with the AWP. In comes SnypeR as well to try to combine to take down Raz. He's going to find the kill as well without too much trouble. Only losing a single man. That's definitely okay for immunity here. But JeSTeR and sibe looking for the retake. Now, actually trying to flash his way through. Imagine it's going to get taken down. And sibe and JeSTeR perhaps content with exits or just to completely save this. And if you look at their money situation, it would be a smart choice indeed to go for this save. They need to keep the money down as much as possible in the next round, because I very much doubt they're going to... In fact, could they force up? They're going to have Let's see, they're going to have 4 rounds in a row. They're going to lose, so about 3k or so? Yeah, 3k indeed. So they get more or less 3k from losing there. So they could force up if they really wanted to. It's not, I wouldn't say it's super advisable. Again, just because it's always worth stressing like how important grenades are. You can play with low amount of grenades as a CT side, but I think you just got to acknowledge that you have a low grenade count. And they did pretty well overall for nades. They got 3 smokes. Obviously would have liked some more, but Rad's going to go close with the mag. And this is one way to try to make this low eco buy work for the CTs. Take some risks and try to get lucky with them. This is a great risk to take. He's going to find the first kill. Good stuff there. SnypeR going down. Boomser there to support as well. Ready to peek as Raz peeks or receives some action. And Boomser, in fact, going to splash it over Raz. As spotting a couple players. This is a fantastic result here. Going to have to bounce through the flames, even get supported there with the smoke. Absolutely perfect. And that's the kind of risk that you need. They didn't take a huge risk, but it was definitely could have gone really badly for them had they missed the shot. But it's going to be a nice cleanup so far as they try to push up middle. Immunity going to be met with a very brutal response. And Originals, amazing that they picked up the round in that fashion. A lot of money from the frags gained by the mag, and also just from having a clean victory, not really losing anybody. So they couldn't really have asked for anything better than that. And now Raz is going to be on the AWP. It's going to be interesting to see how he plays this one, if he's going to get too aggressive or even rocking the Dragon Lore there. Oh, it is Rickeh, it's okay. Well, nobody peeking just yet. They do have the deep banana smoke, and there's so many ways to play this. You can see that in this instance. Boomser's the one falling back, as the push does actually come up here towards sibe on the pit area. sibe, though, able to take down 2 players with relative ease, still in the pit position. Not really smoked off probably just yet. Rickeh's grenades, though, does actually manage to deal with him, and with the follow-up frag, they have a really good chance to take this round now. Raz is the lone man for the Originals, and this round just completely fell apart for them, and they don't have a huge quantity of money. They will be able to afford to buy in the following round. It's going to be super awesome, and they're going to be up against the reality that if they lose that, there is the eco coming for them. So in comes the buy. Although Raz obviously with nothing, which is really depressing. It's a really hard position to play. This is always the thing that I think everybody hates. Playing low economy is the tease. You know, that you can always manage that because you can kind of dictate the round. You can say, okay, we want to attack here, so this position if we attack here, this kind of plays to the strengths of these weapons that we could afford, and so on and so forth. Or these, if we have only like this many nades, so this plays into the fact that we don't have many nades, or you know, all these factors you can control as tees. So you can play low eco much more comfortably, but the CTs that having to react to their opponents, it becomes very, very awkward. And we can see now that they've run out of smokes, and there's only a minute left in the round. So if Immunity take this slow and play together very well, they could really abuse this. The Originals in a tough spot, but they've been in tough spots before, and there's going to be the opening kill. DANZ going to take down JeSTeR, as we do have pushing B right now. A lot of pressure towards B with those 2 players. But that is not where the bomb is. And sibe going to go out for the... Oh, beautiful there. Takes down DANZ, spots the 2 players and the bomb. And the immediate rotation from Moku here as they make their way in onto this B push. In goes James, finds Boomser on first oranges. There's one at the back of the site still, though. And Moku now coming in as well. This looks okay right now for the CTs. The Originals have a chance here. Great play from Raz. 2 found with a 5-7. Amazing stuff. The bomb is down now. Raz picking up that AK-47. Scrappy round here for both teams. sibe going to take down Imagine. It's all on Rickeh now. It does go down to sibe as well. Beautiful stuff. 3 for sibe, 2 for Raz, and the defuse. The guns picked up. What a save. Unbelievable. And we're seeing just generally like a really strong ability for the Originals to bring back very bad situations. And they took a few risks here and there. The first major risk we saw was obviously that push, or actually it was from this area, from sibe I think it was. He pushed in with the FAMAS as a teammate flashed for him, got the info, even got lucky enough to find a frag too. So off the back of that, they started the ball rolling into the retake. The patient player Raz. absolutely wonderful to see. Boomser going to flash himself into Banana now, and they've spotted that there's a very low eco around here for Immunity. They're playing with Pharmacist Tech 9s. Moku on the site now, but going to be able to take down the headshot fountain and bang triple. 2 players killed though from Immunity. If they can actually start getting even more frags here, if they can get 1 or 2 more, this is going to be pretty crippling for the Originals. They're not playing with a lot of money here. Raz sprinting around towards quad side, but the bomb is not really positioned to be planted. Boomser going to pick up the kill, make that money with the mag. Imagine, ooh, that was so close, almost through the smoke there. Last man standing is Imagine, going to get flanked from the back. In comes JeSTeR and Raz. This is such an awkward position. And Imagine will finally go down to Raz. And we are going to see the Originals taking round 3. But lots of rebuys coming in for them. Raz should really drop one. Looks like they do want to go for a bit of a pause. So it is 5-3, and at the moment in favor of Immunity. But the Originals are bringing it back a little bit with some really awesome plays. Really nice to see the way that they've been fighting tooth and nail in these really awkward spots. Because this is the thing. I personally, you know, someone that plays a lot of CS. I really it just feels uncomfortable. It's so annoying when you have these like low economy situations as CT when you can't have the grenades you want. It just feels so horrible. So it's good to see that they're able to fight really well in those spots, and that really bodes really well for this match. And the last Inferno we just saw with Athletico and Aftershock was an awesome match, and it kind of turned out a little bit like this one as well in how back and forth it was. But we do have a little bit of a pause here as one player is fixing his lag. So. Guys, we're going to take a very brief break. We'll be back. Okay, no, actually, I'm being I'm being told it should only be 30 seconds or so. So I'm going to sit here, and either I can stare longingly into the camera, or I can find something else to talk about. And there's a lot to talk about, so I think I'll go for that option. So far, I've been really impressed by what Australia has to offer. These Australian teams that I've seen so far, it's really cool to see the amount of skill that's coming out, and I hope to God that we can get some of these teams to these international events as well, because one of the I don't know if you guys are familiar with World Cyber Games, but you know, way back when World Cyber Games was doing, you know, Counter-Strike, Quake, you know, all these what some would consider, you know, proper more hardcore esports games before they started doing like Karom 3D and these snooker and pool games and stuff like that in mobile games. Back then, you had WCG, you had teams from all across the world flying there, and that was like the most awesome thing about it. Just this truly international showing, you know, for these games. It's heartwarming. You almost want to shed a tear because it's so beautiful to see people all brought together. It's almost like how cool the International is with Dota. They kind of have this with the International, and to see more exposure to the Oceanic region and to see more people actually get to display their game in the competitive setting. That's what this game is about. It's about the competitive setting. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. So I'm really happy that you guys are getting to get more exposure and more streams, and hopefully we can do more of this kind of stuff in the future. Because I mean, I just had to wake up early on a Sunday. That's nothing. That's really easy to do. So hopefully we can do more coverage in the future as well. So we have the match resumed. Hopefully everything will be okay. And already grenades being tossed over towards Banana there. There we go, down there's some grenades. And Raz with the AWP. Rickeh also with an AWP, and let's actually see where he is. He's actually in apartments. This is quite an interesting spot. It's one of those spots where it's pretty unlikely someone's going to peek there or actually be pushing there, but if they do, they are never going to expect an AWP there. You just don't expect an AWP there. So it's a low percentage play, but it's very safe, and it's pretty good on the reward. So how else will they bring Rickeh's AWP into play? It's definitely very difficult. He's trying to move his way in from balcony. Does get a bit of action there with sibe, but he's been spotted now. His position given away. So it's always very hard to interpret exactly what's going on when you see an AWP from that position, because you know that he has to reposition. As you can see that sibe gets flashed in there to try to deal with him and spot out what's actually happening, what's going on in apartments, and seeing that position's been largely Although Ricky's actually coming back. They just spotted it, and he'd been gone, and now he's coming back again. So this is very interesting to see if they'll expect him here. They do have a guy on site looking his way. It's pretty huge here. Rickeh to get a pick would be really, really good. Oh, on point! JeSTeR going down. Great shot there from Rickeh. Going to open it up. Misses the second on site over by the pit. There it is, though. Will pick him off in the end, and that is phenomenal work there from the AWPer of Immunity, from Rickeh. Wonderful plays. Opening up the bomb site, and with the bomb down, SnypeR and Imagine on the site, this should be the round now. Raz coming in once again with his AWP. This is going to be more than a mountain to climb. And SnypeR will eliminate Raz in the end, and that will be the round there for Immunity. So taking control of things, but that play there with Rickeh, that was a very interesting dynamic there to come back after being flashed back out and the opponents being briefly cleared, coming back again to that position, and he did find the kills. So now we do have a bit of a weird buy from Originals, so just evening up their money a little bit, buying what they can so they can buy the following round. But things are starting to get a little bit out of hand, because if you imagine that this round goes to the Immunity as it should, it's 7-3. And then if we look at the money right here, it's going to be a pretty... they will be able to buy and get nades if they don't get helmets and stuff, which they should be cutting that corner right now for the extra smokes. They will be able to buy, but then again, they're back into EK territory, and it's also an uncomfortable position on the money. So it's the Originals are in a position where they need a lot of strength right now. They need a lot of willpower and good camaraderie to bring themselves back into the game. As James is just deathmatching through onto the B site and CD spawn there. But it's all going to be about Originals and the test of them as a team, and whether they can keep things together here in the face of a very dangerous situation. JeSTeR looking for an exit. We'll find one at least, but there's only one player that does score in the end. And it's always really nice. That extra frag, that extra $300, going to be an extra grenade. So it's really nice to get frags like that. And we can see Boomser, who's actually buying a mag quite often here, and often taking it to banana. So there it is. They had to buy Famises, and you can see that even so, they still weren't really able to get a huge quantity of grenades. Deep smoke, this is a smart choice here. They can push aggressively with this. As long as they have one more smoke to re-smoke it, that's a much more cost-efficient way to use your grenades than just to sit back and wait, because you get more information from it. You have more impact on the game by taking banana aggressively. You can see they're forcing Immunity up middle a little bit right now, but Immunity might just welcome this with open arms as they move up looking for the entries. They won't find them just yet. JeSTeR going to be able to pick off one from quad side. Move back onto site now as the CT side Originals, they are on very secure positions on the A side. They have done what they needed to do, and they're at a two-man advantage. The Originals are closing in from behind as well. Boomser with that mag, staying close to banana. Able to cover the flank should they retreat back to B. They have the time to do so. Bomb getting tossed. You see Boomser lurking, very close, misses the shot. Imagine only on 15 health. He will get the frag, and that's going to open up the retreat to B. They have two choices. They can either wait, delay, force somebody to rotate from A, as it is happening now, and go for, and then after waiting, go for A, or they can just go for the sprint to B. Looks like they're going to go for the sprint to B. It is a good choice here, as 2 are left on the A side of things. There it is, there. The smoke goes down into Raz, but he has enough time to get the frag. And SnypeR, it's all on SnypeR for Immunity here. He's got Raz around the corner, going to be able to drop him. And of course, 2 from behind the smoke now. SnypeR doesn't necessarily know 100% that they're both there. There is a grenade. That's going to give away one position. He's going to know now. Does take down side. There's one more to find. SnypeR gets the third. Great 3-kill. What a clutch from SnypeR. Immunity picking up round number 8. And the Originals have to be feeling absolutely gutted. That was their way back into the match. Snatched from them. And really, it's going to, from this point forwards, it's very... there's no way that I can frame this, color this or shape this to make it look good for Originals, or throw hope in there. It's starting to look hopeless. There is, of course, still hope for them to bring it back, but it's going to take something very special indeed. And with SnypeR playing that way, and the rest of his teammates also playing as strong as they are, it's certainly going to be a hard task. But we do have at least a frag. James getting caught on the push of Banana, and Boomser's able to pick up that AK. And he might be able to work with this. They could go for a gamble here and push the AK player, Boomser, back onto the A site and try to play together, see if they can pick up more weapons. But at the moment, they're deciding to play it by ear, play reactively. And JeSTeR's there on the pit and ready to receive any opponents, and there are to be many soon. JeSTeR there. They are going to spend some DANZ there, and JeSTeR unable to find anything. Have sibe, Raz, Boomser coming in from the B bomb site and managing to take down sibe. Definitely an awkward state of affairs here. Boomser are going to hightail it out of there. And their money bonus has been reset like relatively recently, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, he wants to save the AK and the P250. The P250 he can actually drop next round, in fact, for somebody. And Raz is committed to go and die here and find some damage if he can, but he cannot find any damage at all. And Boomser is going to be alive with the AK. I'm not going to lie to you guys, it's looking bad for the Originals right now. Immunity really living up to their name, living up to the reputation that they've built, and the recent results that they've achieved. 9-3 the score for them. And they will be playing, if they are able to win this, Athletico in a best of 3 to follow. $1,000 up for grabs here for the FACEIT Oceania launch tournament. Let's have a look and see if a recovery can be found for the Originals. It's like with the smoke down onto apartments, and there's a few ways to smoke this. And he's just going to wait in front of the smoke. And very brave. Imagine walking through the smoke. He is a braver man than I am. So sibe already with a kill there is going to feel quite content to fall back. There's a few ways you can think about this situation. I mean, when you're aggressively pushing positions as the CTs or taking options away from your opponents, that's you trying to remove advantages and options from them and gain advantages and options for yourself. And but when you get a frag early on, so you go 5 versus 4 like this, you can give up the risk that's involved in going for those plays just because you're already ahead of man. You've already got a slight advantage, so you can then play reactively and play more to your team play setups and play like that instead. And you can see that's exactly what the Originals are doing, and it's a smart way to play things. And here it is, so the push coming in onto B. Boomser here at second oranges. Raz to pick up a quick frag. And Immunity struggling to get their way in right now, but James is going to be opening it up. Raz, his head popped by the AK. Boomser coming in for the spray, and they're going to make it work. Boomser, Moku cleaning up, and they will take the round. Beautiful stuff from the Originals. That was a masterfully executed round. And again, I do really like after the initial frag them to fall back. Of course, you've got to mention that the way that frag came about was a little bit of a gift, a bit of a Christmas comes early situation. A guy walking through smoke into your crosshair. That's a free one. And we're going to see JeSTeR moving in with the AWP here to flash over the roof. And okay, with a very timely dodge of that. And you can only imagine that Immunity aren't going to make a mistake like that again. Or at least you would think that they wouldn't give a frag away like that early on again. On this T side, there's not many rounds left to be played, just this one and the following one until we move into the second half. And once again, we see a very slow round, as is characteristic of Inferno, because it's a map about positions. It's always going to be about finding the most options or picking the best options, like almost troubleshooting essentially what is the best solution for the round win. And there's lots of ways to pick up information. First things first, so you got to get that map control, and that does take time. We do have Immunity now with all the map control that they want, and they've decided that Banana is the move of choice. Have the smokes going over here. And, well, that's very interesting. We're going to get stuck on the smoke again. No, please! Getting stuck on the smoke. We had this bug earlier. Oh, dear. Well, at least we can see the guy planting. We can see his knees. The knee cam. Can we move off the smoke, please, game? Oh, no. It's happened earlier. This is a new bug, I think. It's like... so you like smoke so much? Well, now we have this smoke cam. Makes you just spec the smoke forever. Fantastic. But either way, we're going to see that it's a very cleanly picked up round there. Very solidly executed. Push onto the B-bomb site, or at least we have to assume so. Because all the frags are picked up. We didn't get to see anything because of the smoke cam. Hopefully, if someone from Valve is watching, you can see that bug there. It's always a risk now to go on the smoke cam. But it's so worth it. It's so worth it. It's so smooth. So smooth. I love to glide through the air with the smoke. Either way, it is the last round of the first half between Immunity and Originals. And the Originals, they need to find another round. They've got a very terrible buy here. Got a Nova Antique on Raz. Got a Scout on Moku. Although he has done very well, the Scout. I do like his Scout skills. sibe on a FAMAS. He's the guy with the best weapon at the moment. The Raz already peeking and getting caught with some damage. Boomser getting taken out in apartments. It is just systematic dismantling of the Originals at the moment by Immunity. We do have sibe looking for something through the smoke there. Oh, that was awesome. Nice by sibe. Moving in through the smoke onto the angle. That's some good map knowledge right there. Oh, hello. Moku finds the header. SnypeR. And that is going to be Aussie Road. Oh, a second again. Moku going huge with the scout. That's what I like to see. And it's a 3-on-2 now in favor of the Originals, thanks to Moku and that 2-kill. We do have Raz around the corner here. He was on B previously with that Nova. Moku is still ready to get down and dirty with that scout. And he has been hitting some dirty shots. And Raz only going to find a little bit of damage there, but it's enough for Moku to pick up the frag with the scout. And he gets the next one. Moku, quad kill scout. Love it. They needed that round. They did it in style. Style points. 10 out of 10. Oh, you gotta love it. Alright, so Immunity definitely with a very, very comfortable amount of rounds. And this is scary for the Originals because the amount of flexibility it allows Immunity, because they can start to take risks. They can do stuff that they otherwise wouldn't necessarily do, just because, like, okay, guys, we have the buffer of rounds. You know, in CS, there's often these situations where you're faced with the decision to either make one play or the other, and one is a little bit more risky than the other one, but it has a higher reward. So if you have the rounds to work with, then you can start picking those kinds of options. Whereas if you are very close, typically you want to go for a safer option, unless you want to try to go for the surprise factor, or you think that that is enough to give you enough of an edge to make the play justified. Either way, Rickeh going to be pushing down Banana on this pistol round, and the Originals taking it slow to begin with, but now they've put on the pace, making their way through for the A play. Boomser already opening up apartments into the A site, and things are looking good. Now, with pit clear, the Originals should have everything they need to just close this one down. I like that they have 3 decoys. I approve of the decoys. That is not a nice way to go. Alright, apparently we have a 30-second pause coming up. Boomser, he broke his mic. I wonder how he managed that. Taking stock of the current situation here. And if you're just joining us, this is the FACEIT Oceania launch tournament. That's right! FACEIT has come to the Oceanic region, and that means you can play pickup games, leagues and ladders on FACEIT, as you have all those servers available to you. And this is a little launch tournament, $1,000 up for grabs for the winner. We do have a best of 3 to follow this match. The winner of this match will play against Athletico, who won against Aftershock previously on Inferno as well. It was 69, I do believe. And looks like we are on pause. Boomser fixing his issues with his microphone. That's good. So we can see a force buy from Immunity, deciding to go with double Nova. This used to always just be CZ armor because it's just so damn good. It is still really good, by the way. CZ's still really good. It's still better than the Tech 9 in quite a lot of spots. But yeah, Rickeh and James with those Novas. Got a bit of a stack here, 3-man stack on the B-bomb side. You can see Rickeh working the apartments. Imagine over by the A site. Just very tentative so far. Should be fine. We can see, oh, that's not the best angle ever. We can see James is ready with that Nova. The pump actually shotgun. Here it is. So they want to go through onto library side, but I thought for a second maybe they'd want to actually split on the B, but they left Banana entirely. This is actually going to work with that USP onto Rickeh in the boiler. Unable to find any damage with that Nova. And James, SnypeR, and DANZ might just want to try to keep these weapons alive for the following rounds at this point. As SnypeR and DANZ did invest in the armor as well. James might just have some cash left. No, he doesn't actually have any cash left over. I thought maybe he would have something left over, just having the Nova. But I guess maybe he got some nades as well. Either way, Immunity going to be on the back foot in this second half, which is good news for all the Originals fans. But Immunity, the team that in theory should be stronger on both sides, only have to win 6 rounds on their CT half. It should be quite doable. They shouldn't have to really worry all too much at all. But the Originals now, with the Galil still, and I like the Mac 10 on Moku as well. Mac 10, it always reminds me of Angel, for those familiar with the European scene at all. Angel from Hellraisers, I've seen him, he always used to go for the Mac 10 every single time, and he would do kind of funny stuff with it. But it's good to see that it comes out still in other places as well. We have Raz slowly making his way forward, but this is beautiful. We have the stack on the B bomb site. Raz is going to be finding that stack right now. They should back away right now, unless they want to try and risk this. But Moku in with 2 frags with that Mac 10. Oh, MP7, sorry, and he's going to be going for some more. Looks like we do have a flank coming up. And there it is. Moku taking down James, and that is a lot of money in the bank. That's 4 kills with the MP7. Look at the money he's racked up there. It's awesome. Man, that tells you, yeah, that's how long I have not seen a Mac 10 played with. It's just I couldn't even recognize the thumbnail, the icon, small icon. Either way, 8-10, and Original's looking not too bad, not too shabby. The AWP coming out onto JeSTeR. I'll have to see if he's able to pick anything up here, but Immunity are not playing aggressive, and once again, it's going to be hard for him to find stuff with this AWP. And this is the interesting thing about the AWP on this map from the T side, is that theoretically, from a theoretical standpoint, it is very difficult to use. There's a lot less opportunities to use it unless it's very situational. Oh, even almost, I think he may even tagged his mate there. But sibe able to spray down one in apartments, and we'll return to the AWP point in a moment. As Imagine is ready to receive any aggression over by the pit, and he's even going to get a dink onto sibe, down to 9 health. If they had a nade to toss in there, that would be wonderful, but they don't. They do, however, still have great positions. James on the site. And I like that Immunity aren't rotating just yet. They're just sticking to their guns. They're just taking it easy. They are very aware that a double back could always still happen from the Originals. There's still enough time for them to go for that. And we're going to see they're making their way in, smoking off pit now. And of course that's going to be Imagine. He's down there. Here he is. And M4 in hand, able to take down Boomser. There's one more through the smoke. sibe going to find the kill onto Imagine. Over by pit. Very, very, very key frag there. Removing the pit player, so important if you can do that quickly. And now it is the round 1 here for the Originals, as a retake is not going to happen. The save instead is the choice here for Immunity. But all they have to do is just get the ball rolling. All they have to do is pick up, there's 1 or 2 rounds in quick succession, force out an eco, hopefully from the Originals for them, and then it's game on. However, if the Originals keep winning rounds like this, and they keep Immunity's economy crippled, sometimes you can see what looks to be incredibly T-sided Infernos. So I'm very, if they can actually pull that off, I will be really surprised. This is kind of rare that it's kind of a rare thing, rarity, but it is definitely a possibility. We saw the Originals were able to on their first half, able to bring themselves from the brink of very, very bad situations. They're able to bring themselves back with phenomenal plays and low eco strategies, but Immunity, are they going to be able to show the same here? They have 3 farm assists. Boomser ready here to receive SnypeR. He does take down SnypeR. Rickeh gets the trade, which is very good. DANZ also with the kill onto Moku in apartments. And they're going to smoke that one off. But 3-on-4 is certainly a very okay situation for the Originals. Immunity forced to put 2 to a side at the moment. And the Originals, they can just try to guard themselves against any aggressions, just in case something surprising does happen. They want to be ready for it. But as we can see, you know, they Immunity are very content to leave Rickeh more or less alone on the B-bomb side, which is, if you have a really strong player like Rickeh, that's the luxury that you're afforded. And here we go. They're going to make their way in slowly now. Dan ready for this. Ooh, does take the shot and does connect once again. Imagine with DANZ in the pit, ready to take down sibe, who's got his focus on DANZ, who, wow, that cover, absolutely phenomenal there. Indeed, JeSTeR going to be falling back off of that frag. 20 seconds to go. Has to make a move. He's going to have to go for this save now at this point and keep himself alive. As we do have 3 men left standing for Immunity, they are going to be able to take this round. And in doing so, they should also be able to pick up some guns here, some AKs. There it is, they do get their AKs, so that's a lot of value just picked up there from Immunity. That's going to help the economy a lot now. 3 guys surviving, picking up those AKs. This could be the turning point now for Immunity, the moment that they needed to bring things back under control. And I was making a point before about the AWP, and from a theoretical standpoint, the AWP is tough to use, very tough to use. I already explained why I think that's the case, and typically you do see it still in the top level, and that's usually because some teams have players who are just so damn good with the AWP that it kind of circumvents the inherent disadvantages found on the map and the map architecture. So if the AWP is good enough, it can work very well, but it is still very difficult. It's just up to the tasks there. Either way, sibe moving in. He knows that DANZ is there. Oh, in goes Moku. Imagine trying to meet him in Boiler, but does go down instead. And James has to try to make this trade and fall back, but he's going to go in for the next kill, and he's going to get taken down by Boomser. Maybe feeling like he's too forward to get to safety in time, and going for the risk. And the thing is, though, he's got good teammates to back him up. DANZ is there. The SnypeR on the rotation. And Immunity are suddenly looking very, very good. Finally forcing an eco perhaps against out of the Originals. We do have quite a bit of money on sibe, so he could drop some pistols for his mates if he wanted to. But he's just going to decide to go pistol armor here, and so is Moku. But CZ. CZ, it seems to be more respectable these days. Still very good. Still, the running spread is still really strong. But less bullets is certainly a good nerf. Sliding position there. Takes down SnypeR actually. James going to go in for the trades here. He needs to get a couple more frags. He's going to get one more. But they're going to get on the site really fast. This should be the bomb down. There is the smoke. That's going to guarantee it. And Boomser also picked up that M4. However, Moku's the one with the armor, so perhaps it would be sensible to give the M4 to him. But Moku's going to try to move through the smoke. This could be a very strong play, but someone going to catch him from Banana. Moku going to go down to Imagine there. Set up for such a potentially strong aggression through that smoke, but it's going to be Boomser now who's left to do the job, and he's going to be found wanting, only with 1 frag to show for it. It's going to be Immunity. You pick up another round. They did lose 3 players, and the bomb did go down for the Originals. So the Originals are going to have a good buy coming in, like way more money than they need. They got loads of cash, and they can really splash the cash, get everything they want. And we're not going to see an AWP now, and I like that. I do like that from the Originals. I don't think you should like try to force it. And we do have Rickeh now, who's AWPing for Immunity. And at the moment, oh wow, okay, so we did miss that, but we did have a trade on the A side of the map, and DANZ's push fire in the apartment is going to get traded on by Moku. And that's a 3-on-3. This is going to be very tough now for Immunity to actually keep themselves alive on this site. Now, which way should the attacker run? They got loads of time, the Originals. They have a man in a balcony, so they're going to choose the quad side. Oh, they line up for SnypeR. Does he get the triple once again? No, but James is there from pit to find Moku. And this is a big, big problem now for the Originals. Around that, they heavily were favored to win. And now, Immunity are about to reach match point. Thankfully for the Originals, they were able to get the bomb down in the previous round, which has afforded them an okay buy, an acceptable buy. Only Moku without the ability to buy an AK-47, and he gave up that ability by instead purchasing PD-50 and having grenades. So it's like the defense is strong once again here. That push down middle is going to reward them massively, as we do have sibe kind of trapped down by the haystack there at the bottom of the slope. Not much to do there. He does get smoked off now, and the CT's taking a very aggressive stance to this round. Moku saved it. Half going to be able to pick off himself a DANZ. He was waiting on second mid. So Moku once again, can he do the impossible with that AK-47 as he did with the scout? He is peeking. They haven't spotted him just yet. There it is. Moku unable to see his opponent. His assailant is almost invisible. Just his helmet showing. So Moku tries to find a way to get sibe out of T-slope. That bomb is down there, so they got to do something. And there it is. The flash going to go over. Moku's got to find a kill now. Oh, he's not going to do anything. Too low on health, and sibe. Such an awkward position. This should be match point here for Immunity. Indeed it will be. sibe is going to go down, and it's a 15-9 scoreline. So the Originals, they need 6 in a row. I believe, because of this man. He's bought a scout, and we all know what he's capable of now with that scout. I'm sure that's going to go into a highlight. I really hope that it does. His previous scout quad kill. So, Immunity now taking a more passive approach to this round. We had previously a very aggressive round. Imagine is in apartments though, so it could be more defensive, but we'll have to see if he can get punished here. But he does have now DANZ coming in for support, which is nice. They can always get the trades here. Trying to block the jumps up, and we can see that sibe is actually going to make his way up there now, and Imagine's ready for this. Can sibe respond quickly enough? Oh, he's actually going to peek into sibe, and that's the frag going towards the Originals. They are looking a lot better now, and still with a minute left in the round. They can really play with Immunity's rotation now if they want. They've only got 3 players. And here it is. They're pushing up through quad. They again have Moku coming in through the balcony, but there it is. DANZ over by the pit. It's been so problematic though, but they have the players. Moku dropping down, going to be able to take down DANZ and sibe on the site. Sorry, SnypeR on the site, and we have Rickeh coming in with the AWP. This is a very hard position now. They're quite low, all of them, but that is not the ideal weapon, and there it is, the M4 of Moku. Going to pick him off, and Moku has been doing a really good job. You can see that he's the top fragger for his team. 22 frags, definitely very nice. Hitting those shots. Alright, so the Immunity now only need 1 more round. They do have rounds to play with, but in this situation, they're going to want to go for the saves here. And a risky play coming in. The Deagle pushing down. James, let's see if he's able to find something. They surely have no idea he's here. They got nobody kind of safeguarding this. He's looking for the shots of the Deagle, but the Deagle is so inaccurate. It's absolutely gutting. You always, whenever you die like that, you're always thinking, oh god, why didn't I just buy like a 5.7 or something? But we do have a 3-on-3 regardless. So the Originals try to gather themselves on middle here. Got JeSTeR with the two frags there up middle. Through onto the A site. We do have Rickeh coming around. So some damage done, but if we just check the economy quickly here, if Rickeh could get 1 more, that's actually going to put the Originals into kind of a horrible buy on the following round. Or actually not a horrible buy. No, they should be fine. I am talking out of my arse, but that seems to be a common occurrence. Either way, Rickeh would at least like the money from getting some kills. can really make the difference to have extra nades here. So I don't know if that flash did anything. I think Raz just was like looking completely the wrong direction, just had no idea about anything there. So there it is. Rickeh going to pick up a kill and a weapon as well. That's a really nice result for Rickeh.
Terrorists win.
So Immunity going to be in a pretty nice position now. Got plenty of cash. And, the Originals going to be moving up against what should be a full and strong defense from Immunity. Although actually it does seem like DANZ was unable to afford any nades. Opting for the helmet instead of an extra nade there. So look, we have one man left to tasked with the job of B, all by himself. It's Rickeh with that AWP, that Dragon Law, sexy Dragon Law. And this is quite scary actually, because if they were to go for a fast push against what he has, of course that's going to be very dangerous. But they're going for the gamble. They're going for the gamble. 4 players on A to begin with. I think James is ready to smoke for Rickeh there actually as well. Smoke into the banana choke point. But he's actually saving it because they are feeling the pressure here on this A site. And they have floated the player back towards... oh, no way. What a shot from Moku. They float a guy back to help Rickeh, but just as they do, he gets picked off. That's really brutal now for Immunity. Moku going in again, does get a second player. B is open. sibe with a frag and entry as well onto the A side. This is insane work from the Originals. They're doing an amazing job here. James going to be going in with a frag onto sibe, so finally a bit of a response. But Moku now coming in from library. I think he's hearing the stepping now as well of James. Oh, it should be an easy kill. There it is. Moku. It's all about Moku. A 3 kill from him. sibe obviously getting a couple entries onto the A site, which was huge as well. But yeah, definitely a lot of players showing up here today. The Originals 3 rounds away. It's not that bad at all. Are they going to mount this comeback? That 6th round in a row comeback? It's not looking like it's out of the realm of possibility now. SnypeR in with a bit of a peek there with a scout, and might feel like he wants to throw that scout to a teammate, but there's no teammates left around him. But they've all gone to the B bomb site at the moment. Just get that stack going, and Boomser might just walk into this. There's so many players there. Look at this. Look at all those players, all their crosshairs. Boomser never stood a chance. Gonna be picking that one up, and now they know. Now they know it's a stack, so should be able to make their way in pretty quickly. SnypeR missing the headshot though. Does get a tag onto sibe, so this is actually possible. If they're able to kill Moku quickly here, it is within the realms of possibility. They actually get a tag on him, but Moku able to take down player. Well, in comes Rickeh. Does get Moku. There's JeSTeR up on Graveyard. And it's like we're going to have James just saving that AK, and the rest of his teammates, Rickeh and Imagine, going for those exits. Might just be able to pick up a weapon if they're able to stop moving away from the bomb site. Great shot there from side though, cleaning up Rickeh. And Imagine, where is he now? He's still in library actually. He's going to go for that AK. In fact, I think he just got blown into his arms. It did by the bomb. And does he hear the stepping? There's a player in pit. No, I'm going to run out there, and here we go. Match point still. It's been match point for so long, for 4 in a row now. Immunity need to do something. This is starting to get out of hand. And look at this buy from the Originals. They have a couple Molotovs, full grenades. It's so gorgeous to look at. Just look at it. I'm going to circle it and everything. Look at that. It's lovely to see. It's been a while since they felt or had an economy where they could actually do something like that. And the same can be said for Immunity. We're seeing a lot of teams in Europe and North America who, on the CT side, they buy 5 incendiaries now because of the potential for extra added delay. It's so significant on this map. Incendiaries are so damn good. And it's been a very long time since Immunity could even afford that. SnypeR actually getting hit in the head there by a Molotov, I think. James is going to pick up, finds himself a sibe as they try to move their way up middle now. The Originals taking control of the middle. They do not have to push into A though. They can still go back if they want to. But it's like DANZ going to pick off Raz. And this is getting awkward now. The bomb has been dropped. It's been spotted as well. So we have Immunity making their way forwards. They got the fourth player. Rickeh with that AWP guarding Arch now. And he's going to actually be challenged very soon. There's a guy behind the smoke. It's going to be Boomser. He's going to go in. He does get the spray down. Rickeh falls. Moku takes down Imagine as well. And it's a 2-on-3 now with the third player from the CT. He's rapidly making his way. Well, not rapidly enough. He's so far away, actually. It's all on DANZ. He's got to stay alive here. If DANZ can stay alive, it's over. It is over for the Originals. And he will. DANZ takes the rounds for Immunity. They are going to go 16-13 over the Originals. What a fantastic result there. The Originals, they really fought their way back. I mean, those guys deserve a lot of props for finding their way back from such a horrible deficit, from some really nasty positions. And Moku, he needs some high fives for the Scout 4 kill. That was really beautiful stuff. All right, so we've got Athletico now. They're going to be facing off against Immunity in a best of 3 for $1,000 as part of the FACEIT Oceania launch tournament. So guys, we'll go for a break. We'll be back with the final very short.